Thank you.
Yes, we would look at making sure that game isn't just, national for me in the United States, but globally available. If he's anywhere within a reasonable amount of points of breaking that record, we will do that. In terms of specific plans, there's no doubt we will stop that game and, make sure we, record, for history, the ball, the basket, the uniform. We'll stop and make sure that we've done our job as the archivists of the NBA. At the same time, there's that balance that they will be playing against a team that will very much want to win that night and not be distracted. So most likely we will do something in the moment, but then we will plan a larger celebration. And interestingly enough, just calculating out when it might happen, it seems at this point it's likely to happen before our All-Star break. And if it were to happen before our All-Star break, it seems like the All-Star game this year, which is in Salt Lake City, may be the perfect opportunity to honor him. President Macron certainly raised no concerns. It was a very upbeat meeting. In fact, he mentioned, as we all know, there's a national strike today in France. We were hoping, at least on his busy schedule for yesterday, it was one of the easier meetings that he had, and about only positive things around sport and the NBA. We did tell him, and we discussed the fact that it's highly likely, independent from the Olympics, that we will be back in Paris again next year for another regular season game. We haven't locked in those plans yet, or the teams, but we anticipate that will happen. Again, let's let it happen, before, we start reflecting on it. I think I think we want to let events sort of unfold, but I will say, just the physical endurance itself, to play that many years. I know I'm a lot older than LeBron, but as, all the travel, I just think about the wear and tear on his body and the lack of sleep, and the 3.5 games a week, season after season, how he takes care of himself. And I hope the young players pay attention to that. Anybody who's ever been around LeBron, he's always working on his body. He's always thinking about getting his sleep and proper nutrition. And it's hard to talk to him where he doesn't have some device hooked up to him, or ice on some part of his body, where he's constantly recuperating from the bangs and the minor injuries he's constantly dealing with. And so there's that in itself, just the endurance. But then, of course, the physical and mental, skill that it takes to power through that many seasons, to continue performing at an incredibly high level night after night after night. And I'm sure many of you people in this room think of it the same way I do. There are many days when we go to work and we might have had a terrible night's sleep, or difficult something happened at home, and you may don't have to, nobody's watching you. You kind of make it through the day, and you just think, I can't wait till I get home that night, or I can go back to sleep. Think about it from an NBA player's standpoint, or any professional athlete, when millions of people are watching their performance, everything's recorded for posterity, and so to do that at the highest level, game after game, and then to be in a position to break one of the all-time records of most points ever scored. It's quite remarkable, and I think it's such a testament to him. And he's not just sort of at the end of his career just hanging around to get that record. He's still playing at an incredibly high level. So I think it's spectacular. I hope fans are paying a lot of attention to what's happening right now, because we mentioned Michael Jordan before. I remember thinking, I was with the league, of course, near the end of his career. You wanted to just shake some people and say, make sure you watch this guy. That players like this don't come along ever. Only for once a generation or so, and make sure you get a chance to see him when he's still playing at a high level. So I hope people think about that when it comes to LeBron.
We have time for 2 more questions. Next question is at the very back.